Hey everyone, have I here bring another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, yes, it's finally here, a full version of Best Teams on Global. You all have been waiting for it. This is the August 2022 edition. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So of course, in the month of July, I did an abbreviated version of Best Teams. The reason why is because the 7-year anniversary was such a vast celebration for the entire month. There's things going on throughout the month, and I wanted to wait until EX was completed so I can have a better perspective of ranking these teams. And of course, since every anniversary is done now, leading into the Worldwide Download celebration, I think I have a good perspective in ranking these teams at this point in time. So with that, let's go ahead and first and foremost, my disclaimer: the term best teams is my opinion and it's purely subjective. There's no official tier list or best teams ranking from Akatsuki or Bandai. Any references or research sources will be linked in the description below. How I rank my teams: a multitude of different things I look at: leader skill, damage output, survivability, passive essay specials, links, categories, leader flexibility, or even more important, bench flexibility. Game mode effectiveness, that has changed tremendously in this month's best teams, and then just overall gameplay. Now, the reason why game mode effectiveness has changed, of course, is the introduction of the ultimate red zone. That is now on top of the difficulty levels when it comes to everything else that you're playing in Dokkan Battle. And especially if you're able to know how to run some certain stages, you are getting a lot of extra points when it comes to ranking in the best teams. Now, I look at Ultimate Red Zone is on top of the challenges there. Then you have Extreme Super Battle Road, Legendary Fighting Events, and Infinite Dragon Ball History, those missions completed, and then the rest below there. So again, I look at overall aspects of things. Are they good at a lot of things? Most of it? All of it? That's very, very important to me. So you are going to see a quantifiable number when it comes to game mode effectiveness on the bottom on the screen when you're looking at the teams. And you're going to see something like an 8-3-5-5, which I think is a nice standard for a good team. And that all corresponds with the 8 stands for, like, Super Battle Road, how many Super Battle Roads you can complete, Extreme Super Battle Roads, Fighting Legend of missions, and then Infinite Dragon Ball History missions. And then I don't have a quantifiable number for Ultimate Red Zone at this point in time, but maybe we'll add that down in the future. So let's look at last month's abbreviated, but yet these were the top 10 teams where I was expecting before Broly, Bojack, Omega came out on Red Zone. Right, that's pre most difficult on Red Zone. So that's how these rankings were. So now, of course, it's after the fact. I've ran all these teams through all the difficulty of the levels, and how I rank them is in accordance to other game modes as well. But Red Zone is going to be very important. So there are some changes, and there is actually going to be something you guys are going to probably call me out on. Because of an access to the top 5 based off of a kind of a technicality on how I rank teams. And when I get to it, I'll mention it. So let's go ahead and transition into the top 10 here. And I did not have any honorable mentions, just 2 I just want to mention, and I just don't have a screens for that. And that's, we have a 180% Patara ran team now with the EZA to the OG Super Saiyan Vegetos. And then you have still Battle of Fate. That's really, really good. They just slightly missed the top 10 here when it comes to best teams in global. So coming in at number 10, and I almost actually took this team out in reality, and that is Representative Universe 7 / Universal Survival Saga. And this is using MUI Goku and using Evolution Vegeta. So both of them are, in a sense, the combination of the teams that I have here. It's still usable in Red Zone. You're probably going to use more of MUI Goku or UI Goku than anything else because of the dodging ability, but there are stages that you cannot dodge in Red Zone, primarily Broly, the toughest stage in Red Zone here. So thus, when it comes to the full effectiveness of the Red Zone, Representative Universe 7 does fall a little bit short. Still an amazing team, especially if you're going to be running for game mode effectiveness on Evolution Vegeta, right? 12-7, 11-7 is top notch when it comes to the scores there. Very, very high. Again, I just dropped them down just because when I'm running this team or these teams on Red Zone, it's a little bit more difficult than other teams. So coming at number 10 is Representative Universe 7 and Universal Survival Saga with MUI Goku and with Evolution Vegeta. So coming at number 9, moved up 1 spot. So U7 dropped down 1 spot. This team moved up 1 spot, and again because of Red Zone, and that is the ageless Tech Ultimate Gohan. This unit just is always good. I don't know if this unit will never be good. he does do better damage as he increases his SA multiplier. He doesn't hit like as hard as some of these new units now, but his defense is amazing, right? His guard is absolutely always desired, and then his stacking of defense is really, really important. And also strong game mode effectiveness, 9-4, 3-5, still good. A little bit low on some other aspects like Fighting Legend Goku event, things of that nature, but generally speaking, very solid numbers there. The team flexibility is very, very good. Of course, the defense is very good as well. You can run a Gohan team, you can run a Trunks team, you can run a lot of supports. That's really impressive when it comes to the Hybrid Saiyans team, because you have a lot of different units that can support, and generally speaking, most of them have some sort of support options on here. So that's a very, very high regard. Like you're kind of quasi making this like a 200% team because of all the support that you have on there. Now, when it comes to Red Zone, you do have some really, really solid units that you can run that's going to help you complete a lot of the red zones there. I was close to doing a couple no item runs. It's very difficult to do a Ultimate Red Zone no item run. On the easier stages, no problem. Just on the harder stages, like a Bojack or a Broly, it's really tough there. And Omega, Hybrid Saiyans does have a good chance of actually doing that, even at 170%. So again, difficult, but as certain units going to be arising on this team here, definitely will help out. But you have this amazing EZA of Future Gohan. The thing about Ultimate Gohan, he just doesn't link very well with anybody else. You have Kid Gohan here that helps out with the defensive boost, and then you have this 50% damage mitigation when it comes to High School Gohan as well. He doesn't fully tank now, but in Ultimate Red Zone, but he can kind of hold his own a little bit. So again, Hybrid Saiyan is very, very strong here. I wish I could put him a little bit higher, but all the other teams just have a lot more advantages when it comes to their teams there. So coming in number 9 is Hybrid Saiyans with Ultimate Gohan. Let's move on to the number 8 spot. The number 8 spot is very interesting because if it wasn't for my kind of hard, fast rule of access to a 200% lead, making them higher up, Kamehameha's game mode effectiveness is top notch. 14, 5, 10, 9. 14 is the highest number of Super Battle Roads for any single team ran by a leader here with AGL Gohan. That's the highest, 14. So very, very impressive overall resume here. But because it doesn't have access to a 200% lead, and some of you might go, wait a minute, well, doesn't the LR Gods and the Super Saiyan 4s, aren't they Kamehameha? Well, the 30% is, but it's not the majority, the 170% that's on this. So that's why Kamehameha does only fall in the number 8 spot. But still can do a lot of great things. It can run both of the new 7-year anniversary units on here. It can run, of course, the Kaioken Goku, the new Kaioken Goku, the Saiyan Saga one. Run virtually most of the Dokkan Festival exclusive LRs. So the biggest issue is that AGL Gohan isn't very good anymore. He still stacks, he's still usable, but is in a sense a liability. So again, you can run multitude of different teams here. You can split up the Super Saiyan 4 and LR Gods and run this type of team here. You can do the new units, which is always beneficial on there, the OG Future. You can do a lot. You can see here. You can have this combination, which is the Exchange Gohan and the LR Goku Gohan. Really, really powerful rotation there. So again, the only reason why they're so low is they don't have access to a 200% lead. So when you're doing Ultimate Red Zone here, this is kind of the teams that you can run on this. You gotta put the AGL, either stack them early, like for example, you're gonna run them in these two spots for these two units that don't stack, and then you're gonna have to put them as a floater. Okay, so very difficult to kind of manage when it comes to Ultimate Red Zone. They can still do most of the red zones there. So coming in number 8, Kamehameha, amazing, really, really good. When he gets access to a 200%, he's there. This team is gonna fly really, really high. Or, of course, this EZAs as well, the AGL Gohan EZAs. So coming number 8, Kamehameha with AGL Ultimate Gohan. Let's go ahead and move on to the number 7 spot, which is going to be a surprise to a lot of individuals because I had him pretty high up. But as I started doing Ultimate Red Zone, man, this was problematic. And this is because you don't have that many good Trunks. And Trunks is very important for Majin Vegeta to get his damage reduction. And even though his game mode effectiveness is very, very good, 10, 5, 8, 7, that one little issue of not getting the 30% onto the Vegeta, he becomes very, very squishy if you don't have that activated. And so the right mechanics. And then here's the thing: you're definitely not going to bring this guy to red zone. So generally, you're going to bring. So I'll actually dive down into the red zone here. Here's the red zone here. You're going to bring something like this. And you can run Ultimate Gohan. It is still usable, but you're just going to have problems if you don't activate Vegeta. And then Vegeta gets more buffs if you get a lot of orbs. And you know, this becomes a liability if he's on the wrong spot here. He becomes a liability if he's in the wrong spot. So very tough. But of course, these two units here do very well in the red zone, especially if they're getting a 200% boost. So anyway, Majin Buu Saga does have some subcategories that helps out a lot. This is another variation of a team that you can run, but of course you have sub leaders like the Strength Vegito. You can run the Majin Buu Saga team on this scenario here, and of course now I do add Vegeta's family as a subcategory at 180%, so you can run Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta here too as a combination. And again, I have to combine all these teams together, because if I just did standalone, it kind of almost be the same teams over and over and over again. So again, Majin Buu Saga / Vegeta's family is going to get a huge upgrade when LRGG comes up. So this team does boost up tremendously when that unit comes up. But for right now, I'm going to keep them at number 7 for now. And just playing them on Ultimate Red Zone, I just had a lot more troubles than I had better successes versus the other teams I'm going to be talking about. So coming in number 7, Majin Vegeta. So coming in number 6, another surprise, but surprise that he's there so low. And I'm going to have to explain this because that technicality that's going to catapult one of the teams up even higher, and that's actually going to be the Android Cell Saga Power Absorption with androids. Transformation Cell is amazing, very, very, very good unit, especially when he gets the perfect cell. Takes a little while to boost up there, but in Ultimate Red Zone it's going to be absolutely fine. Game mode effectiveness is fine as well, 8, 4, 7, 3, solid. And you have a lot of good synergy, especially with the extreme units, as you can see here. You can also run superclass units here and run some really good combinations along with that. On top of that, you do have a great secondary sub leader in the Entrusted Will Android Cell Saga AGL Trunks. Again, problematic when it comes to Ultimate Red Zone. But generally speaking, if you're going to be running the androids on the Ultimate Red Zone, this is the type of team that you're going to be running here. And they do tremendously well. The thing is, do they do better than the team that I'm going to talk about next? Not quite, but this team does have more game mode effectiveness. So I was just kind of scratching my brain and going, where am I going to put the number 5 spot, which I'll talk about in a second, and a number 6 spot? I was flip-flopping them like constantly, right? Constantly flip-flopping them. So, but I have to give the next team their props. And so coming in number 6 is the Android Cell Saga. And again, for those fans out there, I just had to put them here. It was either this, 5, or I can even put them in 4, but I just will keep them at 6 at this point in time. Amazing, amazing team. But number 5 just squeaked out the win. Maybe just because I'm biased for now. And yes, this right here is a big problem. It's the lowest. So how good is the Ginyu Force? All right. Generally speaking, if they're a good team, I don't even put them in the top 10 if they have this bad game mode effectiveness. But they're so good in Ultimate Red Zone. It can do every single Ultimate Red Zone very easily. Like, no problem. And even though they have a 6-3-2-1, atrocious game mode effectiveness statistics there, they shine in Ultimate Red Zone. They shine here. And you have, and here's the thing, I was able to do no item runs with the Ginyu Force, more so than other teams. And again, I hold that in very, very high standards than the difficulty of doing no item runs versus just normal runs with some items on here. The Cell Saga, you're able to do a few, but or Transformation Cell, you're able to do a few. It's not as easy as the Ginyu Force, right? Again, number 6, very good team. Just slight edge here, even with the bad game mode effectiveness. And you do have, now I did combine a sub leader skill in the Planet Namek Saga and Sworn Enemies in the Full Power Frieza. So I did put them in the secondary leader spot as a sub leader. So it does give them an extra little points there. But yeah, it's controversial. Let me know how you guys feel about Ginyu Force in the number 5 spot and with such bad game mode effectiveness. But they're just so good. They're just so good. We all know that. If we did standalone, like the best team standalone, that this would be probably top 3. That's why I even have them in the top 5 spot. So again, coming number 5, Ginyu Force. No doubt they're a top 10 team, but yeah, I did put them in the top 5. So here's the controversy here. All right, here's the controversy here. That's going to be the number 4 spot, the return to the top 5, and that is Pure Saiyans. Now we all know how amazing the catalog of the bench and flexibility is for Pure Saiyans. We all know that they're the largest and probably the best category in the game on global right now. But the reason why they're able to move up to the number 4 spot, where Kamehameha drops down in the number 8 spot, is because yes, they have access to a 200% leader. They do, even though it's really a really bad leader in Raditz. Pure Saiyans is Saiyan Saga Pure Saiyans with Space Traveling Warriors. Now I know Space Traveling Warriors is very limited when it comes to Pure Saiyans, but that's the technicality that I'm able to put a 13, 8, 11, 6. So you're looking at like Ginyu Force, which is like the worst game mode effectiveness, but amazingly good everything else in Red Zone, to like the highest game mode effectiveness, but only running at 170%. So you kind of have to find that balance, and that's kind of where I said, you know what, with the mass amounts of game mode effectiveness that this has, and still capable of doing the ultimate Red Zone, I did now put him in the number 4 spot. So yes, Raditz gave an advantage to Pure Saiyans, but you know, you can run a full Saiyan Saga team here as well. So this is a fun team to run. Yes, you are putting Raditz as a floater for sure. So use the 7-year anniversary units as the main rotation, things of that nature, and you'll be just fine. Yeah, they're not getting 200%, but just like they are in this team here, you're going to be just fine. And then you do have some leader flexibility. If you do want to, if anything else besides Red Zone, you can still use Super Vegeta as 170% lead and crush a lot of different events, especially if you can stun enemies as well, because his stunning ability and his critical chance is still very good. His defense isn't all that great, but again, if you put him as a floater, you're going to be just fine. So, and yeah, if you're running Ultimate Red Zone, here you go. Easy team to run, right? You have access to this bad boy, which for Broly, it's like a no-brainer. And then when you're doing on against movie bosses, no problem there as well. So huge advantage and a lot of access to just an amazing amount of units. So coming in number 4, I think that's a surprise for a lot of people. You can thank Raditz for this. Like I couldn't believe, like, okay, that's a technicality, and I did now put Pure Saiyans back in the number 4 spot, way high up where they really probably deserves to be in. So, all right, the top 3, I think it's no surprise. You can probably all guess what the top 3 is. So coming in number 3 is the Super Saiyans Goku family, and then also the 200% with the Android Cell Saga with the Exchange Gohan. Exchange Gohan is amazing. Now, non-Exchange Gohan, which is the Goku, is okay. He does very well. However, when he transforms, especially in Red Zone, he's ridiculous, right? He's ridiculous. Even in against Broly, he's going to be able to have the guarding and not be type disadvantage, right? So not maybe do a lot of damage either. But overall, yeah, this team is amazing because you have Super Saiyans, which is an amazing category in itself, and then you have Goku's family, which is an amazing category, and you're able to do a full 200% with amazing units, right? We have this bad boy here. You have that running at 200%, which is really strong here. You can even help out the less than desirable stacking AGL Gohan at 200%, and he just starts off a lot stronger because he is part of Android Cell Saga, getting that additional boost there. So all in all, 9457, really strong here. It also has a lot of support units because you can run a lot of Gohans, and just highly beneficial. And if you want to run them off main, you can do combinations like this here. So the support, or the secondary, the sub leaders here with the Super Saiyan Namek Goku here as a support, you can see why that's so beneficial as leader flexibility. And then now, of course, being able to run. Oh, I'm missing something here. The Goku. What happened to Goku? Goku was here somewhere. Oh, I guess I forgot to put the slide on there. So I did need to mention that, Super Saiyan 4 Goku is a subcategory leader here as well. You can run a full Goku's team at 180%, and of course do quite well on there. So again, all that's combined into one with leader flexibility, which provides a full lot of bench and flexibility when it comes to bench strength. So yeah, no doubt about it, for my opinion, the number 3 spot does go to Super Saiyan's Goku's family with the exchange Gohan. So 1 and 2 interchangeable, right? Depending on your subjective thoughts on 1 and 2, we know that the LR Super Saiyan 4s in Fuse Fighters and the Gods are 1 and 2. Now the only reason why I have this right here, Fuse Fighters, as the number 2 spot is due to the fact of the game mode effectiveness. Now both of them have its advantages on red zone, right? This one here is more susceptible for you to beat up on Omega Shenron. Over here, you are really needing this team here for more of the opportunities to beat Broly, right? So both do their own things. I think Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is the better standalone unit. So that provides them advantage, and it has a lot more coinciding benefits in running the Super Saiyan 4 type teams on there versus the Gods. But the Gods, they have access to pretty much all the same units as the Super Saiyan 4s. The only thing that's missing, really, that's kind of top tier, is like this OG Super Vegito, and really both Super Vegitos, right? The Strength LR and then the OG Int one. So now when you're running red zone on both of them, this is kind of the options you can absolutely run. While over here, you're running more so because you have access to this bad boy that does a lot in Ultimate Red Zone, which you don't have access to in the Super Saiyan 4s, in the Fuse Fighters and DG Heroes. So again, both have their options, both have their advantages. I think because of the game mode effectiveness in 10-6, 12-7 versus 8-4, 10-10, both nothing to sneeze at. Both is incredible when it comes to what they're able to do. But it's interchangeable 1 and 2 in my opinion. So coming in at number 2 is the Super Saiyan 4s in Gogeta, and then coming in number 1 is the LR Gods. So there you have it. Tell me what you guys think. That is now, let's go ahead and do the summary here. So coming number 9 is Representative Universe 7, Universal Survival Saga. Hybrid Saiyans is number 9. I'm sorry, coming number 10 is Universal Survival Saga, and Representative Universe 7. Then you have Hybrid Saiyan, then you have Kamehameha, then you have that line, the 200% line right there. So the line in the sand. Then you have Majin Buu Saga, Vegeta's family, Cell, Ginyu. Again, that's kind of controversial. The technicality of Pure Saiyans gets up to the top 4 spot. Then you have Super Saiyan's Goku family, LR Super Saiyan 4s, and then the LR Gods is number 1. So there you have it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And of course, if you are new to my channel, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Yeah, there goes another edition of Best Teams, August 2022 edition. And yeah, keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.